In the first part of this two-part episode, we had the chance to explore Santiago. While there, we visited a handful of the city's most iconic sites. More importantly, we spent time with locals, hearing the history, walking the streets, and seeing how life moves through places like the Central Market. From there, we headed north to the main event, the Atacama Desert and Hot Chili's Costa Fuego project. In this episode, we visit Cortadera, Verde, and the town of Huasco. Each play a meaningful role in Costa Fuego's development. We're going to walk the ground, look at the work that's already underway, and talk through what comes next, and why these pieces matter as the project continues to move forward. Let's get right into it. Huasco sits at the edge of the Pacific, where the desert meets the sea and the Huasco River cuts through the valley. It's a quiet coastal town, but an important one in Chile's mining story. Today, iron ore pellets arrive here by rail and make up most of the port's activity. It's the region's main export hub. If Costa Fuego goes into production, its copper and gold concentrate will likely move through the same route. The valley has its challenges, water being the big one. It's scarce, and that's where Hot Chili's Huasco Water Project comes in. Huasco Water isn't just about supplying a mine. It's about creating a broader water network for the valley, for its residents, agriculture, and for a future industry. In this region, reliable water access is a real constraint to growth and stability. Being here, you start to see how mining can be more than extraction. When it's planned properly, it can drive infrastructure and support the communities around it.
Well, we're driving to Puerto Las Losas. We're here in Huasco town, so it's just 5 minutes driving.
So this train brings all the iron ore from a mining operation of CMP that is called Los Colorados mine. And so now the train is coming back, to get load and coming back to the process plant that is actually located just beside Puerto Las Losas. Why the water is so important for Costa Fuego, especially this area, is the main reason. We have a granted maritime concession that you can see there is surrounded by a fence that was part of the commitment that the authority give us, because we have to meet some milestones in terms of building different part of what we require as a maritime concession. And that was the first step to build that fence. From a Huasco water perspective, stage 1 is providing seawater to Costa Fuego. The 3 processes that we have in Costa Fuego is the sulfide concentrator, the oxide heap leach, and the low-grade sulfide dam leach. The 3 processes require seawater. So this is the first step in the maritime concession. In the area of the maritime concession, we had an engineering company designing all the different infrastructure required for pumping the water in this point to the Costa Fuego layout inside of that polygon. So we de-risk, based on engineering design, any expansion that is required if we are not compliant for doing that. The water required or demand for the Costa Fuego projects is around 500 liters per second, and that was an estimate from the water balance that the engineering company did during the PFS.
Right.
Okay, so that's stage 1 of Huasco water. But we have a stage 2 and a stage 3 of Huasco water, the desalination plant. So for that, we identify different potential off-takers, mining companies from that sector, agriculture, the communities, and industrial companies that are along the valley. Based on an estimate of water demand that those potential off-takers we think that they will consume is around 1,300 liters per second of desalinated water. So in that sense, we have planned to build a desalination plant right there, here in this location, around 500 meters, 1 kilometer in that direction. So the current Maritime concession needs to be adapted and to be extended. Expanded. Because I mean we need an input pump station, and the other thing that we need that is required is to extend the jetty or the dock, because we need to discharge the brine from the desalination plant.
Right.
Okay. And the main off-takers that we have identified are mining companies that are located, in the high altitude.
Right.
So it's around, the network of the pipeline is around 250 kilometers, even including Costa Fuego as part of the off-takers. So as you can see, it's a big engineering effort for doing that.
Cortadera is where the project stops being an abstract idea and becomes something you can actually hold in your hands. This part of Costa Fuego is secondary to Productora. Its ore will eventually be moved by Robcon-style conveyor back to the main processing hub. In the current plan, Cortadera is modeled as 3 open pits and 1 underground block cave, though the team is now evaluating whether a single, larger super pit makes more sense. Walking the ground with the team, you can start to understand their confidence. The scale, the geometry, the continuity, it's all right there in front of you.
Okay, this is the Cortadera. Here's the Cuerpo 2, and this is very impressive. This is the quartz veiling in the surface, parallel to principal trend in Cortadera northwest, that connecting the Cuerpo 1, Cuerpo 2, and Cuerpo 3 to the east. Look, it's the intensity of the quartz vein is of the 10% of the quartz vein, and this essentially is the central part of the Cuerpo 2. In surface, this is essentially limonite with copper, and this part is the oxide copper.
The oxide.
Yeah.
Oh, you can see with the blue.
Yeah. This is the blue color related to the chrysocolla principal, and malachite in some part. But the principal specimen in the surface chrysocolla.
Yeah, and you can see the veinlets and the porphyry mineralization.
Quartz vein here and here, and this is the oxide copper. Yeah, essentially this is the outcropping of the porphyry vein style here with the quartz vein. This is in the deep, is related to the sulfide mineralization. When this sample, or when this essentially the vein is exposed in the surface, they transform into the oxide copper. Right. Yeah, especially with the in this body is related to the chrysocolla. Essentially, this is a copper silicate related with the leaching of this vein. Yeah.
So this rock with exposure to the weather
exactly
becomes this.
Exactly.
And taking it a step further, recovery
Yeah.
is different.
Yeah, it's different. It's different. Yeah, this maybe need more time in the leaching, because in the north the chloride is very good. It's necessary. Water move to the leaching.
Right.
Yeah, but it's good. The percentage is copper is very good, but it's necessary more time.
Yep.
Not much.
We are just in the middle of Cuerpo 2. you know, and we're looking to the north in that direction. So Cuerpo 1 is where all the mine activities right there. So Cuerpo 2 and Cuerpo 3 to the east. Okay, here we have 3 pushbacks. So each of Cuerpo 1, 2, and 3 are mining in single pushbacks.
Right.
You know, after Cuerpo 1, 2, and 3 is mined, what are planned to do in the mine plan is backfilling with waste Cuerpo 1 and Cuerpo 2 to constrain, you know, the Cortadera,
Right.
the Cortadera footprint. So those are the 3 main, the 4 main mining activities: the 3 pits and the underground. So we have stockpiles, waste dumps, some mining facilities. We have a truck shop that is planned to be built here, a powder magazine. In terms of tonnage production, we have almost 230 million tons here to be mined. Just 15 million tons of oxide, okay, that goes, both material sulfide and oxide, goes to the Productora process facility.
I think a lot of investors maybe get too hung up on exactly what the PFS says. Even though it's a higher level of confidence in the engineering, there's still a lot of optimization that could be done.
Absolutely.
And that's such an important step that we're in right now.
Exactly, and that was I told you before. I mean, that's the value engineering stage that we mentioned. We had an important strategic planning session in Perth, so that's the strategy and the plan to move forward.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Cortadera was originally thought to be a small oxide mineralized porphyry, but it now extends over a kilometer below surface and has almost 100 kilometers of drilling, defining a mineral resource of almost 700 million tons, which is around 2.7 million tons of copper equivalent metal. Hiding in that copper equivalent number is 2 million ounces of gold, which at today's gold prices is very significant.
Well, this is a plan view of all the surface mapping and the location of the 3 cuerpos. So we were located before in Cuerpo 1, so you have this, the Northwest Transfer Fault, and after that you have Cuerpo 2 and Cuerpo 3. We will see in the core the difference of the porphyries, the intramineral, the early mineral porphyry, the late, and the veining. So here in this cross-section, you have the 2 cross-section, copper model, and also you have the geology. This is, you can see in magenta, the early porphyry that has like more of 5% of E and B vein, quartz vein abundance. So this carry the better mineralization, the high grade.
Great.
And also you have the intramineral porphyry, all tonalitic porphyry, you know, that is in red, and also carries mineralization. The veining is between 2 and 5%. This is the intramineral, and the late, that is mapping of this yellow, you know, and have this north-south, and also have some northwest, that is the main structures in the system.
Right.
Copper model, you can see 0.2% of copper. You have the high grade in the Cuerpo 3 of 0.6% copper. The interesting thing is the geometry. These bodies are normally tabular bodies, but you can see how large is, you know, in terms of depth. You have between the better grades until 800 meters, but you have mineralization until 1 kilometer.
Right.
And 2 kilometers in all the footprint of these 3 bodies with a different phase of intrusion that you can see in the geology. And also you have these host rocks. The majority have like calcareous component, but when you have this intrusion, you have some scars and hornfels that also are mineralized, and you can see the veining going through that.
And this, you can see this bulk here. This is the block caving.
It's purple. Yeah, this is Cuerpo 2. It's quarter quarter because, yeah, look, the grade is similar to Cuerpo 1, quartz veining with magnetite, and this is the important thing, especially in Cuerpo 3. This is a sea vein with chalcopyrite and pyrite.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is
64.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is essentially the important part of the Cuerpo
Yeah.
tree. Yeah, this is essentially the top of the high grade in Cuerpo tree. Yeah, look, the veining over 10% of quartz veining with the chalcopyrite, moly, and pyrite, essentially the mineralization. But look, it's only essentially here disappear the host rock,
Yeah.
disappear the porphyry, is only vein.
La Verde is where you start to see the next phase of hot Chile taking shape. The exploration drilling is steady, cut shacks running nonstop, and trays of fresh core appearing every hour. You can feel the pace, the geology team logging, comparing, and trying to pin down just how big this system might be. What makes La Verde stand out is both its location and its potential size and grade. The mineralization starts right at surface, and the drilling so far suggests that it could be higher grade than the main deposits. If the results continue to hold together, La Verde has the potential to shift the overall economics of Costa Fuego in a meaningful way. The recent infill drilling now confirms the presence of a larger, high-grade core,
the blue sky
which is
potential.
reminiscent of
This
their
is
experience
the
at
moment I've
Cortadera,
been sort of waiting
but this
for
time
to
it's
La Verde.
located near surface.
Can you take us through the project, sort of past history, the geological setting?
Yes, well, we are here in our new discovery. La Verde was like 6 years to consolidate all this area. We have secured all the Domeico land holding and the main tenement where it's located this La Verde and the open pit last year. Land holding Domeico in April, and in October we consolidate. It's the first time that a single party have consolidated all this area. So this is a huge thing for Hot Chile. And we started last year with the soil sampling, with the geophysics, with magnetometry. And last year we started with the first RC campaign with 31 RC holes and 10,000 meters of drilling. So we already recognize 1 kilometer of mineralization in the strike of northeast of where is this porphyry system. We are 30 kilometers south of Costa Fuego. We are in the late Cretaceous porphyry belt. So we have in the second hole that we drilled last year, we have an intersection of 308 meters of 0.5% copper and 0.3 grams of gold. So it has been a really exciting time for us to can recognize already this strike in mineralization. We have in depth with the RC until 300, 400 meters of mineralization recognized. And in this drilling, we recognize 3 high-grade centers in all the strike. So now we are, 3 weeks ago, we started with the second phase of drilling because the system is open.
Right.
So we are now getting deeper with diamond drilling, and also we want to see further east and west how the system and the potential that can have.
One thing that interested me is the proximity of the mineralization to surface. Are we close to surface?
No, yes, we have mineralization from surface. Actually, a big part of La Verde you have covered with gravel, but other part, the northern part not. We have mineralization since 26 meters. So we have an outside part with high grade, like we recognize until 80 meters or 100 meters depth. And after that you have the sulfide.
Right.
This is an area that actually historically has been exploited by oxides, but not really have a lot of exploration for sulfides.
Right.
Following my visit to La Verde, results from the first diamond drill hole were released. They intercepted 529 meters at 0.41% copper and 0.21 grams per ton gold. In my view, a great intercept.
Where are we drilling right now?
We're in the 18. But this is what I was speaking, you know. All this is the land holding of Domeico, that it was really hard to consolidate.
Yeah.
And now we are here. This is the tenement of actually the open pit of La Verde where we're drilling at the moment.
And I guess talking in the whole scheme of things, we're 40 kilometers by road to Productora, where the milling operation would be. There is somewhat of a chance that this could be included in the mine plan in the future?
Yes, yes. This has a great potential to include this in the Costa Fuego hub. Yeah.
Depend of the sun, but essentially this is the porphyry and the different color here in the top.
Yeah.
This is the different alteration of porphyry.
Sure. And then so when you're getting core and you're able to see how much you're getting an
Exactly.
idea of what you're hitting.
It's the same process. We learning in the surface and apply in the hole,
Yeah.
and learning in the hole and apply in the surface.
Right.
Show the other direction here. Look, this is the other trend.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
You're going through each set. You got a meter of core. You're taking a look at certain points to take XRF. You're taking a picture of the entire tray, and then you're going to cut half of it. Half goes to the assay lab, half stays here.
Exactly. After that, after all this process, the photography, we mark the hole and send to the card cutter, and after that, they send the lab.
Right.
Yeah.
This trip made it clear just how many stories can fit inside one stretch of land. We started in Santiago, a city of movement, sound, and energy. It felt like a warm-up for everything that came next. You walk the streets, meet the people, take the funicular up Santo Cristobal, look out over the city, and you get a sense for the country's scale. But it's only when you leave Santiago that you fully understand how big the story really is. The Atacama shows you that immediately. One look at the desert and you realize how much work it takes for anything to happen out there. Productora was the real first glimpse of that. Standing on site, listening to the team walk us through the geology, sequencing, and how the deposit will feed the concentrator. And you see how many pieces need to line up. Then there's the human side, the part that you don't get from spreadsheets or journal results. In Farina, Villanar, in the schools and community programs, you see what a project can mean long before a single ton of copper or ounce of gold leaves the valley. Kids learning in new classrooms, families receiving mental health support, people who live their whole lives talking about the future they want. Mining isn't abstract for them. It's not a debate or an online argument. It's work, opportunity, infrastructure, water, and stability. Done well, it can shape the valley for generations. And that leads you to Huasco, a coastal town with a long history tied to mining. Standing on the shoreline, looking at the port, you understand why the next chapter matters. Huasco Water isn't just another project or engineering diagram. It's a plan to bring seawater and desalinated water inland to where it's needed. Farms, industry, communities, and eventually Costa Fuego itself. In a place where water limits everything, that's a meaningful shift. Hearing the team walk through the plan, the pipeline corridors, pump stations, jetties, desal capacity, and offtake agreements, you start to appreciate the scale. It's not flashy, it's practical, and it's necessary. Then there's Cortadera, Walking the ground with the geologists who read the rocks like a language, you understand why they're excited. The copper mineralization is right at surface. You don't need a model to picture what's happening below. You're seeing it firsthand, and it gives you a different perspective. And Verde brings the whole picture into focus. Drills running, cut shacks active, fresh core laid out hour after hour. And you can see the point where exploration begins turning into something more concrete. You see the details, the work, and the decisions that will define what Hot Chili becomes in the years ahead. Hot Chili's story is all of this: water, land, people, and the effort it takes to build something that lasts in one of the most resource-rich and resource-challenged regions of the planet. As we packed up our cameras and left the valley, I kept thinking about the people we met. The teachers, kids, engineers, drillers, community leaders, and the folks we talk to in the markets and the cafes. They're the ones who feel the impact long after the drills stop turning. And if Hot Chili can deliver on what they're aiming to do, responsibly, transparently, and with the community at the center, then this valley could be shaped by opportunity rather than scarcity. And that's what I'm taking home from this trip. Not just copper, not just mining, but people, effort, and a landscape that forces you to bring your best. And if this trip showed me anything, it's that the future of the Huasco Valley and the future of this company is going to be worth following.